Oh, hey innovators, I didn't notice you there. Today, we have a super exciting project, and we're gonna use some popsicle sticks and rubber bands to create rubber band powered race cars. Now these little vehicles are gonna use potential elastic energy to wind up and go, go, go. So let's grab all the materials that we need and let's get to work. All right, so what we're gonna need are popsicle sticks, a couple of straws, we're gonna need some wooden dowels or barbecue skewers, a glue gun, some bottle caps, some tape, and some scissors. And the most important part, some rubber bands. Innovators, now that we have all of the materials that we need, we can start building our race cars powered by rubber bands. Okay, so I'm going to set down a piece of cardboard just to protect my work surface. I'm going to grab the popsicle sticks I need, the hot glue gun, and we can begin creating the frame of our car. I'm going to lay all the popsicle sticks out before I glue them, of course. And this will give me a good sense of what I need. So I'll make an A shape, and then I will apply these popsicle sticks there to extend the A-frame. That looks good. A little bit of hot glue will go a long way. Alright, so I'll start there. Then I will apply one popsicle stick that will go across. This will give my frame some support. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the two remaining popsicle sticks and I will apply them to each end of the frame, like so. There we go. Press down firmly, allowing the hot glue to dry. Now if you don't have hot glue, you can also use regular glue. You'll just need to let it dry. So you want to make sure that it bonds completely to the popsicle sticks. All right, let's take a closer look. The popsicle sticks have dried, and I have the desired shape. Frame's done. Okay, the next step is cutting the straws. So I'm going to grab one straw, and I'm going to cut it using a pair of scissors. I'll cut it into 3 parts. One will need to be a little bit shorter than the other 2, which should be about the same. Now these pieces of straw are going to serve to hold the axle of my car. Looks good. Okay, so we have our frame and we've cut our straws, so it's time to start hot gluing. You're going to hot glue the shorter of the straw pieces at the very top of your frame. You want to make sure that when you glue the straw piece that it is straight. This is going to hold the axle. We need to glue the 2 other straw pieces, which are going to hold the rear axle of your race car. And we want them to line up perfectly. So, in order to do that, I'm going to take my barbecue skewer and I'm going to insert both pieces of straw. I will apply the hot glue to my popsicle stick frame like so. And then I'm going to lay the two straw pieces down while still holding the skewer or the axle of my car. Once it's dried, I'll add a little more hot glue to secure them in place. Like so. That looks good. And then I can pull the skewer out of my frame to let the two straw pieces dry. Okay, looking good. Now, we're going to need to attach a rubber band to our frame. So take a new popsicle stick and right in the middle, put a little dab of hot glue. You'll then place your rubber band right there. You'll tug on it gently and you'll let it dry. Perfect. Now, grab your frame and you're going to flip it over, and right along the other popsicle stick that goes across the frame, on the other side you're going to apply a little bit of hot glue and you will place the new popsicle stick that's holding the rubber band. There we go. Make sure that the glue is dry, holding it in place, and give the rubber band a gentle tug. Perfect. So now that we've built our frame, we can start to put together the axle for our car. So let's grab some rods. If you don't happen to have any barbecue skewers, you can make your own axles out of toothpicks that you can tape together. You can also take some paper and roll it up really tightly, enforce it with some tape. This is a great opportunity for you to experiment. So let's start building those axles and let's get to work. So we're now going to take our barbecue skewer and we are going to put it through both straws, like so. This is going to form the rear axle of our racer. Perfect. And we're going to take another popsicle stick and we're going to cut off a small piece, just a little tip of it. You can use some scissors. I tend to use some wire cutters in order to just trim a small piece off of a popsicle stick. So now I'll take my scissors here and I'm going to clean up that edge. Perfect. Nice and small. You need it to be about 1/2 inch long. I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue to the center of the wooden stick or the axle, and then we'll apply the little piece of popsicle stick. This little popsicle stick or pin is going to allow you to attach the rubber band and then wind it up. So it serves a really important purpose. Make sure that you apply a little bit of extra hot glue just to secure it in place. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's let it dry and we'll test it in a few minutes. Now, for the front axle of your car, you're going to need a smaller piece of your wooden stick. So I've cut mine about halfway. It looks good. I'll use a pair of scissors just to trim off a little excess. It looks good, nice and clean. Perfect. And I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to slide it through the front. Okay, now we have our front axle and our rear axle. Bam! Now we're going to apply some wheels. So grab your bottle caps. I have a few different sizes that I took from a few bottles that we were recycling. Lay them out, and I'm going to start with the rear axle. I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue, and I'll apply some right in the center of the bottle cap, and I will gently stick it onto one end of the rear axle. There we go. I'm going to hold it in place and let it dry. I'll do the same thing to the other bottle cap, and remember, you're applying the glue to the inner part of the bottle cap. Hold it in place, give it a little bit of time to dry. Okay, now let's take care of the front wheels. I'll grab the short axle, slide it out of the car, and I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue, attach one wheel. There we go, that feels nice and firm. Take off any excess glue. And I'll go ahead and slide it into the straw piece. Once it's in there, I will glue on the other wheel. So, a little bit of hot glue right on the tip. That looks good, and we're ready to put on the second wheel. Hold it firmly and let it dry. All right, we got wheels on our racer. So depending what your wheels are made out of, in my case they're bottle caps, you're going to need to create a little bit of traction. You want to give your wheels a little bit of grit so that they can grab onto the surface that they ride on. In my case, I'm just going to wrap a rubber band around each tire. That should give me a little extra grip. All right. So it seems like we've completed most of the car. So I want to focus really quick on what's powering this vehicle. When you attach the rubber band and you start to spin it, right? What you're doing is you're creating tension. The rubber band is building up potential energy. And you keep winding it up. When you finally release it, all of that potential energy turns into kinetic energy. So once again, you're creating a vehicle that's powered by the power inside of a rubber band. So let's take a quick look at how we wind up our car. You're going to take the rubber band and you're going to latch it on to your little pin. Once it's on there, you're going to start to turn some more, and wind it up. The harder it gets, that means the more tension that's being applied. All right, that looks pretty good. Now let's test it. I've wound up my car. Let's see if it races towards you. Okay. Hey, nice movement. Okay, let's test it again. And zoom. Nice. Innovators, great job on today's project. So now we have a bunch of cool racers that we can test. This is a great project to test out with some siblings or friends, because then you can actually race them. So make sure that you test your rubber band cars on different surfaces. I've had a lot of success racing these on smooth surfaces like tabletops. You also want to think about the traction or the grip of your tires. So I tried tying rubber bands to my bottle caps, but maybe you made your tires out of other materials. This is a great opportunity for you to use some design thinking and test things out. So wind them up and let's get racing. Remember to always think creatively and think critically. Thanks for watching the video, and make sure that you guys watch the rest. See you later.